All right, boys, so some of you have probably seen a few months ago, actually it's probably almost a year ago now, but Road to 1%, he rated me. Let's give this a watch real quick.
How attractive is Brett Maverick? Brett has equal facial thirds, almond-shaped blue eyes with low set, thick and positively tilted eyebrows. He has top-tier jawline visibility, and his lower third is very wide. He's got a compact mid-face, full lips, his skin is great smoothness. His hair texture is good. He's got straight white teeth. Brett has a tall rhombus, good jaw forward growth with great chin projection and a straight nose. Brett's major flaw was the fact that he was losing his hair, although he has already fixed it.
Not anymore.
Brett has negative canthal tilt.
That's
and
true.
Lacks under-eye support. Brett is 8.5 out of 10 facially, possibly the best-looking face in the self-improvement space.
Okay, what do you say, 8.5? 8.25? 8.5, okay. So he gave me an 8.5 and I really appreciate that. That's pretty high, but I went ahead and got another face rating done by FaceIQ, which I think I like his rating scale a little bit more. The problem that most people have, I think, is when they like rate people, you know, on the 1 to 10 scale, they are rating them by comparing them to the general population, right? So if somebody's like an 8, if you say, oh, that girl's an 8, you're probably thinking like, you know, she's in the top 20%, right? Like out of 100 people, she'd be like at least 80, or she'd be like around 80. But in reality, I think the true measure of your rating should be kind of like based on weighing each of your features and grading them like on a grading scale. And that's kind of more what FaceIQ does. So let's just watch the beginning of this video to see kind of how he does it. This is him talking about Road to 1%'s face ratings.
Theo James is a 9.15 out of 10 facially. Ryan is a 7 out of 10 facially. Harry is a 7.75 out of 10 facially. Austin is an 8 out of 10 facially. Dustin is a 7.5 out of 10 facially.
Okay, first things first, no hate to Road to 1%. This is purely my objective analysis. Go subscribe to him. I think he has great editing.
I just want to pause this real quick so you can see this is Road to 1%'s ratings that he's done. So he's got Theo James as a 9, Tyler Meyer as a 9. He's a famous model. Matthew Noska, another male model, as a 9. I'm a little bummed he didn't put me up there, but that's okay. Austin Butler as an 8. FaceIQ doesn't agree with this.
I think he has some interesting content. However, my job here is to audit face ratings, okay? This is what the people want. So we're going to be honest, we're going to be objective, we're going to look at his ratings. Are they good or are they not? Let's get right into it. Okay, so I laid out some of Road to 1%'s ratings here.
I think we can speed this up a little bit.
And some things stand out to me as a big issue. I see a man with a 41% eye separation ratio up in that 9 category. And on my scale, he certainly would not be anywhere near 9. When I rated Theo James, I believe I got like a 7.5 for him, which on my scale makes perfect sense. He's a tier below Alain Delon or Brad Pitt easily. I think he might have been closer to a 7.25 than a 7.75, I believe. That makes complete sense to me. Now, when I see Theo James above Vito Basso, okay, and near Tyler Maher, then I see Nazca above Basso. A lot of things, I see some warning signs going off in my mind, okay? And specifically, my main critique when I've been watching Road to 1% is that I think he overvalues facial harmony extremely. Like, I think he really overvalues it. I noticed that typically his rates are within 0.25 of the harmony equivalent. So like if a face gets 75% harmony, typically he'll give them a 7. You know, it's a very linear thing, and that's missing a large portion of face ratings, right? Like, let's say, I don't think Nazca does have 90% harmony because he's recessed. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but let's just say he has 90%. Could be, if you're using the standard formula of like, okay, we see this with John Eric Hexon. His harmony is far below his overall rating. He has insane angularity and
okay, so you kind of get the point. And I just wanted to watch his quick facial scale rating video. He doesn't talk or anything or really explain it, but this gives you a good idea. I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit as well. Okay, 1 to 2, bottom 1% face. Makes sense. I'm actually gonna make that quiet too because I don't want to get demonetized, but instead of saying like a 3 out of 10, like 3 out of 10 is 30%. So, you know, you would think the bottom 30%. So if somebody says you're a 3 out of 10, like, yeah, you're bottom 30%, right? But his rating scale, a 3 out of 10 is actually bottom 3% face. So obviously that's a much more strict, much more harsh critique, but let's keep it going. Okay, bottom 30% is a 4 out of 10. DJ Khaled, ugly motherfucker. Ed Sheeran. I hate to say it, but yeah, I think he's closer to like a 5. This guy, like the jump from Ed Sheeran to this dude, I don't know who this is pretty big. Like, this guy has a lot more facial structure, thicker eyebrows, full head of hair, nicely groomed, lean. I don't know. I think this guy, like, based on this scale, he's probably closer to a 6, but whatever. Wheat waffles. The dude from Get Out. All right, 6 out of 10 is a top 20% face, in his opinion. We got Tom Holland, Mr. Spider-Man himself. Okay, 7 out of 10 is a top 1% face. Right, like you would normally probably think a 7 out of 10 is like a 70%, like you're better looking than 70% of people, so you're a top 30% face. But by his rating scale, you're a top 1%, so 7 out of 10 is already like very good. Justin Bieber. Timothy Chalamet. This dude, don't know who that is. And then 8 out of 10, rather than being top 20%, this is top 0.01%. So this is like 1 in 10 million. That's forgot his name. Jensen Ackles. All right, 9 out of 10 is 1 in millions. So that's Tom Stride. Very good looking guy. And I think I do like this rating scale. Matt Bomber, Sean O'Pry, Chico, hey yo Chico, Brian Whitaker, another model. 10 out of 10 is near perfection, so non-existent, right? Because that's absolutely perfect, which does not exist. So anyways, now we kind of understand his rating scale. I was interested to see where he rated Clavicular, so we'll just watch a little bit of this video. He made a whole video on it.
Lower third proportion, very slight flaw. He lost, 0.6 points. Eye spacing, perfect. One eye apart roughly in the ideal range. Here's one of his flaws. We can see it's outside of the ideal range. His nose is a bit broad and his mouth could be wider. His mouth is 1.35 times wider than the nose. Ideally, this should be 1.38 at the low end.
Disgusting.
A little bit of a flaw there. Mouth to nose, slight flaw. Facial FWHR, good. Chin fill trim, slight flaw. Good, good. Slight flaw. Good. Slight flaw. Good, good. I mean, his profile is very harmonious. I mean, if we give him an overall score, it's not going to be near a 9 or an 8, like overall.
That's like top 0.1%.
But he is a good looking guy for sure. Like, definitely, I think it solidifies him within that top 5% range easily. Here, arguably a 7 in these photos. Like, if you...
Okay, so he's saying like maybe a 7, maybe almost a 7, because 7, remember from his video, is a top 1%. And I would agree with that. Like, he's a very good looking guy, especially his side profile. I'm actually a little bit jealous of his submental region, so I'm considering maybe some procedures to ascend my submental a little bit. But I think Clavicular has really great facial harmony, dimorphism, but he's not like top tier model looks, and I'll show you what that looks like in comparison to just good looking guys here in a little bit. But yeah, so nearly a 7. Okay.
So
cool. So he's almost a top 1%, almost a 7. So I went ahead, I was super curious where I lay on this rating because, like a lot of times people call me an 8, 8.5. Of course, I've heard 10 out of 10 by people who like aren't in looksmaxing because they just don't know, which is fine. But anyway, so you could just go right here and get your facial rating, which is what I did. I just did the $10 one because it's like the premium one is $100. That's like so much more. I feel like he should have had this be like 50 and maybe the one-on-one hour-long coaching be like 500 because $1,000 is kind of a lot. But anyways, so I purchased it, and basically you just have to send him a picture of your front facing profile and then your side profile. Hey bro, I was Myron your YouTube vids. I bought a rating. How can I send, bruh? I thought about sending my profile picture where I'm like mogging the out of everyone, and that was not frauded at all, but I thought it was like a little bit too good lighting and all that, so I just took some pictures of my bathroom where I feel like it's pretty accurate to how I actually look authentically. So that's front facing, obviously. I feel like I look pretty similar, right? Side prof, yeah, you get the point. So I submitted that, had to wait like 2 days, then he got back to me. Are you guys ready for the results? So here's what he says. Hi Brett, FaceIQ basic rating 7 out of 10, top 1% face. You are highly attractive. You will stand out in a crowd as notably good looking. Nearly everyone will find you very attractive. He says, you are a strong 7 out of 10. Wait, before we move on to that. Let's fucking go. Top 1%, baby. Honestly, I was super I was not nervous, but I was super curious because this guy is so precise and so analytical. I knew I could be anywhere from like 6 probably to 8, maybe a little over 8. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the 7 out of 10. That's solid. Let's get into the trenches with this. He says you are a 7 out of 10. Your best features are your flared gonians, which is your, you know, over here, your lower third, right? Dominant lower third, you know, that's this region of your face, the bottom third portion. And I owe that all to my masseter muscles, which I've grown over the years, mainly with tough jawline gum. And this is the gum that I chew, which is the company that I partner with at Jawliner. Yeah, it's 10 times strength chewing gum. So if you guys are interested, I'll put the link to that down below with the best pricing. Lateral concavity and full lips. So this was kind of surprising to me. Not the lips part, because I do have beautiful, luscious, kissable lips, but the lateral concavity. So that is this region right here, right? You want that about 170 degree convexity, right? You want it to be outward, right? But I was surprised that he didn't mention anything about my submental region. I feel like this is my biggest flaw, right? And I think it's mainly because of my hyoid bone is a bit too low. So if you have a higher hyoid bone, this is the bone that supports your tongue. It would raise this up, making this a little bit more of a tight right angle, but since it's low, kind of like slopes. And also my chin projection. I feel like if I had a little bit more bone mass right here, it would give me a more prominent masculine kind of jutting of the chin. So I've definitely considered chin implant or something like a genioplasty, you know, just to get a little bit more projection of the chin here. Maybe that also in conjunction with, you know, like chin lipo, submental lipo, where they suck a little bit of fat out of this area right here. Like, as you can see, I don't have the best submental. It definitely helps to mew. Like, here's an example of that. All right, now we move on to the worst features. Your worst features are your hairline. I don't know if I agree with that, man. I mean, when I got my hair transplant done, I had them actually meet my natural hairline, right? I didn't have them go down further into my forehead or back any further. I had them just match my natural hairline, but just connect it back over my temples. Now, maybe he doesn't like that I left the temples a little bit barren, and I did that strategically because I feel like as a white guy, it looks unnatural as you age if you have like this sharp, you know, urban hairline that's perfectly squared off in the corners. I feel like it looks better to have a little bit more mature looking hairline. Like, I don't know, you know, he doesn't have the most perfectly squared off hairline, and I think it would look a little bit odd if he did, right? Obviously right here, he has the hairline swooping over to cover it. Yeah, so I wanted that as well. I didn't want it to be perfectly squared off. That's my point. Your worst features are your hairline, negative canthal tilt. Yes, I knew that. Canthal tilt is obviously just the tilting of your eyes. You can see the outer edges of my eyes do go down just a little bit. If they were, you know, going up, that would be positive canthal tilt. You really want it like right there in the middle. Lazy eye, lazy eye. I don't even know I had a lazy eye. I have got that comment before in videos, but I don't feel like I have a lazy eye. Like, I'm looking at these photos, I don't see it, but maybe I've just deluded myself, you know. Maybe I'm coping too hard. Like, I thought a lazy eye was where like one eye is shooting into the dirt and the other one's up in the sky looking for birds. Yeah, see, this is kind of like obviously an extreme version of a lazy eye. I don't have like that. Maybe like I'm trying to look at the whites of my eyes to see if there's an even amount of white on the left and right side of my irises, and I feel like it looks like I do, but I don't know, man. Maybe I do have a little bit of a lazy eye. So I'll work on lining up that eye transplant here soon, fellas. Don't worry. We gotta ascend. We gotta reach perfection, true Adam status. But anyways, vertissimus, that's basically the same thing. Yeah, as far as I know, it's similar. Yeah, it's just a slight non-alignment of the eyes, apparently. So anyways, so there you have it, guys. Yes, it's true, I am flawed. I do have a handful of flaws. Everybody has flaws, but you can still be good looking despite your flaws. And there are things that you can change, right? And I did want to show, like, a lot of people that think I'm like a 9 or a 10. I don't think that's true. I mean, here's me with what I consider like probably an 8.5. I'm setting it to myself right now. This is me and the model Wyatt Engeman, and he has basically all the features that I have, but he has better eyebrows, a better forehead, right? It's a little bit shorter, and a better eye area. I'm not afraid to admit it, guys. It's just better. So that's like the difference between, you know, like a high level, maybe like movie actor, and then an actual male model, right? Like a top male model. I mean, I was a male model, but not like, I never made it to you know, Chico level and all that. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. There's just levels to this. So shout out Wyatt, he's a stud. Yeah, you can see the cheekbones, highly projected cheekbones in comparison. But yeah, so I'm cool with being a 7 out of 10. That's still top 1%. And I would even argue that it's potentially better to be a little bit lower than the very top, because there is an intimidation factor. I mean, most girls want to be better looking than their partners. So if you were like up there in a 9, an 8.5 or a 9, then they don't want to be mogged everywhere they go. They want to be pretty. They want to feel sexy and like the beautiful one in the relationship. So it actually pays off to be in that like 6 to 7.5 range, I would say. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with this? Which rating scale do you vibe with more? Would you agree with the rating he gave me? And yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.